Well, I got it to this point. So spent some time doing all my connections and what have you, and this is what the back of it looks like now. You can see everything was a pretty tight fit to get everything in there. And on the last one over here, I actually had to add some heat shrink on the terminals because it was just touching this right here. So I added some heat shrink there, but the little switch fit underneath it, and the rest of them were okay. I didn't need to worry about that, but that was the way it all turned out. And like I said, when you take a look at this one, you can see how the wire goes in. There's a red wire that just goes in here, and then the wire, there's ones that are two wire, basically connected. The black, one of the black and reds comes off of here, which is off the back side of the switch. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so the back part of that switch and the actual light connection are both underneath the heat shrink, and then they come out. And like I said before, I have them with different ends, so when I go get ready to connect them, it won't be confusing. So, and then what I just went ahead and did like a little test fitting, and what I decided to do, turn this around, was to go ahead and put some L brackets on the side, and these top holes right here mount underneath the dash to hold it. Now I'm not going to paint these right now. I just want to see if this is gonna, how well this is going to work, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But if it works out okay, I'll just paint these the same color I painted these, and that way it'll blend in. But for now, that's it. So that's what it's going to look like underneath the dashboard. It's going to be centered in the truck, right in front of the shifter, right along the transmission tunnel. So that's where this is going to sit. And I already went ahead and took apart the front differential lock and the rear differential lock. I took those out, moved some of the wiring around, moved some of the air piping around so I could fit this, and then I'll go back and I'll clean up all the air lines and reconnect them up and all that after I get this in and connected. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I'll get some video of that too. So here's what it looks like with the dashboard kind of taken apart. Notice that there's no front differential lock, that's gone, and there's no rear one because I have that too, and that's not there. So like I said, I'm going to redo that. And there was the wiring underneath there is pretty nasty. I'm probably going to have to fix all that too, get it so it makes sense. But for now, that's it. So this is going to go right about excuse me, right about there. So that's where I'm planning on putting it. Getting some shine off that light. It doesn't look very good. Anyway, so that's what it's going to look like. Once I move the light, it'll be better underneath the dash. Getting a lot of shine back on that light. I don't know if that's any better. No, not really. There we go. Whoa. Anyway, so that's what it looks like for now. I'll go ahead and get that guy mounted. I'll get some more video in just a minute, but that's where we're at this point. Well, that's what it's going to look like when I'm all finally finished, hooking up the wire and the cabling. I'm actually holding it with my hand over here out of the way, just so you get a better idea. Sorry. But that's kind of how it's going to look on the dash. I centered it again over the transmission tunnel. So I have some plans for that, and that's the reason I did that. But for now, that looks pretty good. I mean, you can see, you know, here we are, get a whole view of the dash, and in the middle looks pretty good, and it's easy to get to, and you know, I'll be able to see the lights and everything. So, and it's out of the way for both the passenger and the driver. Yet it's still able to get there. So that's what its job and its life will be, is right there. I still got to hook up all the wiring and clean up the cabling and move the air hoses around for the front and rear differentials, but that's there. It's starting to get dark. It's 4 o'clock now, so I got maybe a half hour, so I'll just start cleaning up stuff, and I'll finish this up Monday or Tuesday, a couple days from now, probably within a day, and that's it. So it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it so far. Maybe another 3 or 4 hours and work here, and then this one will be done. On to the next. Anyway, like I was saying, these two switches are going to move closer to the end there, and I'll redo it. And some of the lines that are hanging out down here, I'm going to redo those too, so they're a lot cleaner than just hanging down by your feet and stuff. You know, it's just not going to work. So anyway, all that wire will be coming up and going to that light switch bar that I made up. That's going to go in here, and hopefully all that works out okay. So man, it's a mess in here. I guess that's what happens when you get busy. So that's it for now. I will get some more video as progress continues. Before I go ahead and actually finish up the dash work on getting the light control panel installed, I wanted to go ahead and show what I've done so far as moving both the air switches for the front and rear differentials. So like I said, I moved them over to the left of where they were originally mounted, and I've got one in already right there, and got that wired up. And then this is the last part of what I had to do. Now you can see that these white lines, these are new air lines that I went ahead and ran. There's a line that's up underneath the dash, up here behind the steering column. It's like a main junction point for the incoming air. It's like a 1/2-inch pipe that goes to a distribution block, and so I decided to go ahead and pull off the main air for the switches I'm going to run off of that, which goes to the air pressure gauge on the dashboard. So I have to split that off and connect to the reconnect the dashboard, connect it, and then connect it to these switches. So I've got a T splitter that I'm going to have connected to these 3 lines right here, like that, and that'll wrap up the moving these over. Now this took a long time to do. You know, it's almost like getting your hands into the idea of the plumbing of your house, because having all the little brass fittings and the ones that are the correct sizes and directions and types and all that, I mean, you have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff just to make sure that it's even going to work. So it's kind of when you get into the air system, it's a whole new world, I found, as far as you know, the parts and pieces you need. So I had to go ahead and make, you know, 3 or 4 trips to the hardware store to get the right parts and pieces to do the whole conversion, to bring it all over here and stuff. Even though in theory it's simple, I mean, you know, just getting all the little connectors like this guy here, and getting the right size hoses and the fittings and stuff, it just goes on, because there's different ways to do it. It's about 3 different ways to do every junction point. So anyway, so it took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to take to do, but this is the last part of it, and then I'll wrap that up. And I was able to finish the light control panel over there. I got that wired up as far as I can. I still have to run some more wires to it, but I've hooked up as many wires and got them kind of tucked up out of the way for now as possible over there as well. So that's my job today, is to finish this and get it all done, clean up, you know, finish cleaning it up out here and get it so it's back to the way it should be, and then I hope to also, I got my radiator yesterday back from the guy fixing it, so I'm going to put that in too as well and get that done. So I'm hoping to finish these 2 projects up today, and actually then that'll be the first time in about a month I'll be able to start it up again, because the radiator's been out for that long. Anyway, so that's where I'm at for the moment. I'll get some more video here in a little while, hopefully showing that it's all together. And like I said, I hope all that work I did works, because trying to take it all apart and troubleshoot it's going to be a pain. I just hope it works. Anyway, that's it for now.